Well, we are now at the point in Ora Bay which the Japanese government intends to fill with to reclaim and to construct runway for the base here. And we know from the investigations that Okinawan researchers have been conducting over the last several years that this is a point where dugong live, feed, and there have been several identified dugong home sites in this region. And we think that probably there's a young dugong moving out to establish its own family, its own residence in the seas beneath us right now. So this is a precious area for dugong. It's been for a long time. It's been a precious area to Okinawan people whose religious inclinations were to worship nature and to show gratitude to nature. So around us now we have the beauty of the bay, the beauty of the sea, but the sad plan is that from within 1 week probably there will be buoys cutting off the zone where we now sit in this boat, so that to have access to this zone will be punishable as a criminal offence. Probably within a week, because around us today we've been able to see the preparatory work for the construction of buoys to set the line dividing the zone to which access will be forbidden, which is where we are now, and which extends for more than 2 kilometres from the shore into Ora Bay. So this will be the site where we now are, and stretching right across the bay here will be a 10-metre high construction concrete zone, and this will take years, of course, but it will take more than 3 million dump truck loads of soil and sand, dump trucks of soil and sand, which will come partly from this Henoko area, partly from the rest of Japan, partly we don't yet know where they will come from, but an enormous amount. The roads of Okinawa will be blocked for years by these processions of dump trucks carrying sand and soil to fill in and to create concrete on this zone, which in a way we know that the fertility of this zone in terms of coral and fish and dugong and tortoise and crabs and other kinds of shellfish, that the fertility is the fertility of the Brazilian rainforest. And to construct a military base here, it's like in the United States it would be the case, I suppose, if you took something like the Grand Canyon and said, well, this is a nice place, we'll build a military base. Or in Australia, the Kakadu National Park, So this process is going on, and it's a privilege of mine today to be able to come with some of the activists who have been conducting the struggle to try to defend this zone. In a way, you can summarize, I think, the contest between, on the one hand, my Okinawan friends who have been taking very seriously the Okinawan expression, Nuchiru Takara. Nature is precious, life is precious, life is precious. And they've been struggling to try to preserve the life of this bay against the government, which says, no, what is precious is guns, military. And they're determined to construct a military base. So the struggle goes on, and it now enters its most difficult phase, because the Abe government is clearly determined that it will not retreat this time as the government in 2005 did. When my friends went out in canoes and kayaks to struggle against the project, which at that point was for a point off Cape Hennock, slightly further along the coast. So this time the other government is throwing everything into the process of imposing a military base on this sea. It will be very difficult to resist this, but my friends are determined that they will resist it, and I think those watching this program in English hope that we will learn more about this problem and find ways to express their support for the struggle that Okinawan people have been conducting for so long. Both the struggle for democracy, it's a struggle for environmentalism, for nature, against brutal force of the government, actually the two governments, the governments of both Japan and England. Thank you.
Thank you.
The exclusion zone, so that in about 1 week from now, if we enter this zone, we'll be subject to arrest and to punishment as criminals for trespass within this exclusion zone. So the unusual thing about this process is that the government, as of today, in the government gazette published today, it is announced that this zone becomes, as of now, or as of the moment when the buoys are installed, this becomes a zone into which entry is forbidden. And this has been done by a purely administrative process, by the Prime Minister saying, well, we will appropriate this huge area of bay so that the people who live here are no longer able to access it, and we will construct a huge military installation, 10-meter high base stretching right across the bay in front of us here for I think it's 1,600 or 1,800 meters runway, 2 runways. And this process will begin because it's been initiated by the announcement in the government gazette today. So the process will begin once the buoys that these boats are about to install, once they've been installed, then we will be forbidden entry to this zone.
今度左。
左行った。
どう？
もう潮がこっちの流れなので。
ああ。本当に。別世界ですね。
すごいあれなんですよ。ちょうど今
一緒にあそこに見えないからさ。青い魚が見えますよ。
これですこれですごい石だけどサンゴ。
でっか。
こんなのがね大倉湾に数百もあるんですよ。
数百も。
すごいすごいすごい。5年前も同じところに防衛省の司令官ここだけど作業員は雇われた人たちなので、ここで作業員が戦うんですよね。
As my boat now begins to take me back to the port, the fishing port of Minako, I can only think that it's been a great privilege for me to see this project of the Japanese and American governments, but it's been an immensely sad morning because I've seen the extraordinary wealth and beauty that lies in the seas that surround us, filled with life forms, biodiversity in its best forms, as I said earlier, like a Brazilian rainforest. And yet now the governments of Japan and the United States have committed to constructing a giant edifice right across these seas, 10 meters high, sticking out of the sea, to have warplanes landing and taking off, warships coming into a new port that is intended to be constructed here. And what is it for? Well, it's to intimidate China, of course. And the consequences for Okinawa in the long term are that if this base was allowed to be built, Okinawa would be locked into military confrontation with China. So it would not only be the loss of a major asset of humanity, because this is part of the common heritage of humanity, the wealth of nature that surrounds us here, but it would also be a defeat for Okinawan democracy, because Okinawan people have said for 20 years in massive numbers that they don't want this sea to be destroyed. They refuse to allow this sea to be destroyed. So next week the Japanese government will indeed impose its buoys and create the exclusion zone, from which as of next week we will be forbidden entry. But the last word in this story is yet to be written. And as in the past, the people of Okinawa have found ways to defeat their state. So in the future, I'm sure that with the help of people from mainland Japan, with the help of others from outside of Japan, because this is a struggle that must be won. So I hope that I can do something now to help make known what is happening in these seas.